All right. Hello and welcome back to Who's Even Listening. This will be episode number 3 in season 2. This will be the first solo podcast on the video, so hopefully we got a good little set up here. If not, we're going to scoot a little closer to it if next time if it's not working too well for people like this. But as always, just welcome everybody that's been tuning in and listening. Appreciate everybody that has been tuning in. Just make sure you like and subscribe as well. That always helps us out. And there's a send a text link if you're listening through audio, and we'll try to add that through the YouTube link as well, so you can send a text in or just leave a comment if you're on YouTube, because then you can just leave a comment. You don't even need to send a text. So either way, it works out. And obviously, like the video as well if you can. And obviously, there's a subscription link other than the subscription link to the video to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to support us. We appreciate anybody that does that. It means more than you know to help us out. And our social media is Who's Out There Besides Us. If you'd like to follow us on social media and leave a rating and review if you can, that always helps us out as well. And as always, we always preach the same messages: spread love and forgiveness, be the light in the world, be a positivity in someone's life, be someone wants to be around. You know, let's all try to be better people, and try to create a better environment and better culture for everyone to want to be in. And that's really the key for me. And going into that, I really just want to talk about mainly some things that really have been festering on me, what I think is kind of really wrong in our society right now, and I want to kind of dive into those things. But first of all, I want to start off on a little positive note here. Funland, if you are from around my area in Delaware, it's at the beach, Rehoboth Beach. They have this place that's been there for, I don't know the exact years, but it's been there a very long time, and the guy that ran it and founded it actually died, from what I found out a few months ago. And this is a place that's right at the beach. A lot of things are expensive around there, and that place has always been usually pretty reasonably priced. You know, as far as I know, all the games are still $1, $2, nothing crazy. The tickets are still pretty cheap. We took my son for very cheap, but obviously the tickets that he needs, they only have like one ticket they need because it's a 1-year-old, you know, so he can't ride much, so the tickets aren't that expensive for him to ride things. But if you want to ride something like our age, obviously you need a little more tickets, so it might be a little more expensive. But they've tried to keep it, you know, even with the economy going up, try to keep it reasonable for families and people to go to and have a good time. And you know, that's a lost art, man. And I really wanted to bring that up. And I respect the heck out of that for that family, and them doing that for as long as they have, and still trying to hold that standard, and, you know, give people an opportunity that may not have so much money to, you know, still have some fun and enjoy it. And I really wanted to bring that up because I think that a lot more businesses could be like that, and we could all, you know, not be as selfish, not be as greedy as we are, and realize that we're it's a service. You know, when you're a business, just like mine, just like anybody's, you know, you're providing a service to people, you know, and you don't want to be someone that's just taking everything for yourself. I mean, can that be beneficial for yourself? Possibly, but I don't believe that really is soul fulfilling, if that makes sense. You know, when you can really, you know, make money and not make, you know, too much to where you're greedy, but also still make a living and do what you need to do, but also help millions of people and whatever the case, or even a few people. You know, that's the goal. That's the goal. When we all can try to find something that we're good at, that we can make a living off of, but also create better opportunities and more better circumstances for people in this world. And that's should be all of our goals, is to want to help others, to want me to have something that can help other people, along with supporting myself, support others. You know, and we should all want to find something that can give us the ability and the outreach to be able to do that. You know, and that's awesome, man. And if you can find your niche and find something that can really propel and help people, and, you know, not make people feel like they're getting charged an arm and a leg to participate, you know, that's a big thing. So I wanted to bring that up. It's called Funland. It's in Rehoboth Beach, right on the avenue, right when you get on the boardwalk. So really cool. Everybody around here knows that, but I just wanted to bring that up because that's a good comparison analogy, I think, to talk about, you know, how to structure a business model that's, number one, effective and successful, but also still, you know, not gouging people, you know, still putting things at the right cost, you know, and the right price, instead of just being greedy and trying to make as much as you can in that second. So I really wanted to preach that because I think that's a value in business that's kind of lost. And, we try to embody that here. We try to, preach a good message. We try to help people. We try to create a culture for people that's hopefully positive, hopefully gives you a good time, makes you think a little differently, maybe gives you a bit different perspective. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do. And that's all we try to do with this. So hopefully we're doing that with our little part. And hopefully that just grows and grows and grows. And we can reach more people and help more people and want more people to be successful in their own lives and also want everyone else to be successful. And that's something I want to get into in this podcast as well. But talking about the, the jealousy part of how people almost don't want others to be successful just because it's like, man, I'm not doing that, so why can he do it? And we all have this, for whatever reason, this thought in our head that we don't want someone else to be successful. And I used to feel that way when I was younger a lot more, but I've got away from that completely. I wish everyone success. I wish every single person that walks this earth to have some type of success that makes them happy, that makes their soul feel fulfilled, that makes them feel passionate, that makes them feel at peace, makes them feel happy to be here, happy to want to present their ideas, happy to want to be involved, happy to want to be a part of this life. And there's a lot of times I've been in a lot of dark times in my life where I have felt very isolated, and I still do. There's a lot of times I do, and I have good days, I have bad days, just like anybody. But there's certain days where I feel extremely isolated. I feel extremely like an outcast. I feel like no one understands me. I feel like I'm trapped in a bubble, whatever you want to word that as a phrase. But, we all get to that point where we just break. We just get to that breaking point where we just can't take it. And we feel like it's never enough. We're not doing it. When is it ever going to end? When is it going to get better? And we all search for that time. But we have to be aware and know that, it does get better. We can't just live in that feeding of the negativity around our head 24/7, because then it's going to gravitate to other people. We feel that way in our own selves, that we're not happy with what we're doing. I'm not happy with where I'm at. I'm not happy with where I've gotten to, or, and we all have those issues. I do too. But we can't let that get to us, because then that's going to let us feed into other people. And then if they succeed, we're now almost upset because they succeeded and I haven't, and there's a different timetable for everybody. We all work different schedules. We all work different paces. So everybody's going to excel and propel at different situations. Just like if you know someone, you might get somewhere quicker than someone that doesn't know someone in that industry you're pursuing, just because they have a connection in it, even though you might have put more work in. So there's always a different starting level or ceiling. That's why I always bring it to an athlete. You can have an athlete that has extremely talented skill sets, has everything they could possibly need. But if they don't reach that, if they don't work to keep that consistency going, someone that has really no good floor like that and no real good talents to start with can gather these skill sets through pace and through work to now, get past you. But that's where it is, so we have to be worried about our own bubble. We have to be worried about what can I do to make myself successful to where I'm not jealous. I'm not concerned about other people's well-being. I'm happy for them. I'm blessed in my life, and I'm blessed that they have their ability to do their life and be successful and be happy in it. And I think we all can do a lot better job of not being egotistical, not the way we portray things to people. We could all do a lot better job of, just being humble, just being humble and being respectful. Like, this social media has killed that for millions of people. And, it's all irrelevant in my opinion. Like I said, we're all successful and we all bring strengths and weaknesses to the table. Every single person. If I filled this room with 20 different people, and I guarantee you each person is going to be better at something than someone else, and worse. There's always something. It's just like I always say with a football team, you got 53 on that roster. How can I, as a coach, figure out a way to utilize all of their strengths and weaknesses on this roster and utilize it in a productive manner that makes us successful as a team? And we have to do that in our world. We have to look at our world as almost a team, as in, how can I utilize Jimmy with his expertise with flying? How can I utilize Billy with his expertise with cooking? How can I, take Sydney with their expertise in fashion? All these things, how can we incorporate them to make them successful in their own ways, but also make us successful as an organization? And let them do them and let them be focused on what they're doing. And it's also benefiting everyone else around us and making everything better, making it successful. And those are the things I think we have to be focused on instead of pushing it on other people. And I think we tend to not want others to try, not want others to be successful, because it's almost because we're scared to try too. It's almost a projection, and we need to be more aware of that. And I wanted to bring that up too. And I wanted to bring this up. This is a this is going to be a little controversial, I'm sure, but this is a little deep to me too. But I just wanted to discuss, like, for example, when you go on social media or you go on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, anything, think about truly how many of these accounts or something is depicting either something like somebody cheating or in porn or something just outlandish. I mean, when you really think about it, we've like craved these stories that are like, in a sense, sexual or demeaning or whatever the case is. And I don't know why, but I just find it extremely odd how we've, in a sense, normalized cheating through social media and all this stuff. Like, it's become almost cool or whatever you want to call it. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, we have destroyed the morals of our culture and our, like, I think about my son and like how he's going to grow up, and I think about how men are, and obviously I'm not a woman, so I can't, say it from their side, only from looking from my side. But for a man, I'm someone that I'll say this, I feel personally like I am kind of by myself in my age group, because a lot of men just think with not their head. They think with something that's not their head. And when you live like that, you kind of live reckless. You kind of live off of the short term. You live for the quick fix, the quick hit, whatever you want to call it. It sounds terrible, but it's true. And we've created that culture, and it's almost like a guy now. Think about it. Really think about this when you're having conversations with your friends or anybody. It's almost like it's cool to have sex with mass amounts of girls, or it's almost considered cool to sleep with someone else's wife or whatever. Why? Why do we find that appeasing? To me, that is just, it's terrible. It's disrespectful and it's wrong. And we have to do better at those things. We cannot allow these conversations to feel like it's supposed to happen. Like that I'm supposed to cheat, that I'm supposed to be okay with that. That's supposed to be cool that you sleep around 24/7. We got to have some pride. We got to have some dignity. Have some respect as humans, and we can't just live like this, and it's reckless. Like I said, I go back to this with a kid. I mean, if you live in those moments and you live reckless like that, you're now creating an environment and stuff like that for kids that they grow up in a spot where they don't even know what's going on, so it creates this unstable environment for the kids now because we're just so all over the place, and we have to be better as a society and as people, and have better morals and better principles about us to not let that stuff happen, to not, and obviously there's a lot of it. Porn has killed it. I mean, it has created this whole stigma that, that it's almost accepted, that it's normalized, that this is an okay behavior to act in this way. And it hurts me, like I said, as a married man and with a son. Like there's times where I even have conversations with my friends and they're talking about other women or whatever. Oh, she's hot or she's sexy or whatever the case is. Oh, look at her butt or whatever. To me, I don't even like hearing it. I don't even like being a part of that conversation, because to me it feels like it's mentally cheating. You feel like I'm now thinking, oh, what is he looking at? That's wrong. I'm with my wife. You know what I mean? So I should be concerned about her. That's who I love. That's the most beautiful person in the world. She's the only thing that is beautiful. I don't see another woman in that light, and now because I've now accepted and taken on a responsibility and a commitment to my wife as my obligation. So that's where my energy and my head should be. And if it's not, I mean, that's not good. And that's why I think we have the divorce rate we have. That's why I think we have the issues in marriages that we have, the issues with children having to be raised in 3 different families, or different areas because of that. And, I go back to and obviously you can always say this, there's always cheating. There's always going to be adultery. There's always going to be people that make mistakes. That's life. But at the same time, you think about what marriage meant even 100 years ago to now. I feel like it's a very different meaning. Like you went to a wedding back then, you kind of went there and I'm sure it meant something, a dignity and pride. There's some you go to now and you're just like, man, this is the fourth one. I wonder when we're going to be at the next one. You know what I mean? Like, that's become so, and I hate to say that for some people because sometimes it's not your fault, but we have all got to do a better job. Like I said, it's a partnership. When you accept someone to be your significant other, when you have a child with someone, you are now accepting your life to be one, to be unified, to be one person in a sense, one entity. Now you can have different philosophies, you can have different beliefs, but you still have to learn to live together. You still have to learn to have peace, learn to get along, learn to communicate. And you know, it's a process, but you have to have two sides that are going to do that. And if you're not going to do that, don't get involved in those things. And we have to be smarter and have more foresight, and be more aware in these situations instead of just thinking with something other than our head and thinking about tonight instead of 3 years from now. You know, let's think a little smarter. Let's try to think a little more in these moments to, you know, get away from these mindsets, to get away from that's normalized. You know, let's try to have some pride in, you know, keeping yourself. Let's have some pride in, you know, literally just having a wife. You know, have some pride in doing something that, in my opinion, that's morally correct. You know, and we have to all do better at that. But it's just, I just, that's the one thing that really gets to me. Like I said, it doesn't have to be even a physical aspect. I mean, just mentally looking at someone else while you're walking with your wife, or hearing another story about another woman from someone else that you feel like it's crossing a boundary. I mean, you can say it's not, but for me, it feels that way. I mean, I feel like the stigma that we've created makes it not feel that way. But I bring it to what I was trying to get to with the comparison of the marriages 100 years ago till now. Not saying this was everybody, but I know, for example, my grandparents. My grandpa sadly passed away a little over a year ago. But him and my grandmother were together for, 60 some years. They were together for years, man. And you know that, and their relationship to me is just a depiction of what it should be. I mean, they just had full on love and commitment to each other their entire lives, and it was completely truthful. You could feel it, you could see it. That's all they did was be around each other their whole lives. They lived in the same house, do the same things. They just had a simple routine life, and they loved every minute of it. And my grandmothers took care of my grandfather in his back end days with no questions asked. You know, did everything she needed to do, and barely, you know, she's old herself. But that's love. That's love. When you can find someone that loves you eternally, no matter what happens with her. Because like I said, I may be young now. I'm going to look old here soon. I'm going to look something different. I'm not going to look as appeasing to another woman or whatever. But you find someone that loves you for your soul and what's in your heart and what's in you. That is everything. That is everything. I want to know that with my wife, that when I'm 80 or 90, I can't even get to the bathroom, I can't even move from my bed, that you're still going to love me. You're still going to take care of me. You're still going to spend every beating moment with me. Same vice versa. And that is lost, man. That is a beautiful thing. I almost get teary-eyed talking about it. But it's so true. Like that's what I want. I want to know that I'm with someone endlessly. I always say to my wife, for life, forever, always, even in afterlife. That's the kind of love you have to have with someone. And yeah, I believe that even with your friend or your mom, your dad, you should want to have that relationship with everyone, where I care about you endlessly. You couldn't do, and I'm going to love you through it all, through every hardship, through every up and down. And if you find someone that you truly loves you, they will do all of those things. They will, because they love you that much. And we have to learn to find those moments, those people, and that's hard, man. I wish I could find that for everybody. I wish I could sit here and be Cupid and shoot arrows and line everybody up and find the perfect match where everybody can be compatible. But it takes a hell of a lot of effort, and endless time. And you have to be willing to adapt. You have to be willing to change, and you have to be willing to accept someone for who they are, even though you may not like some of those things. But that's love. You love them for who they are. And you got to find someone that has a heart that matches your heart. And as stupid as that may sound, that is, to me, a very lost thought in this world about what true love truly is. And I think we all get a depiction of attraction, or that we want someone that likes everything we like or looks how we want them to look, and this fairy tale depiction of an ending or a marriage, or even just me and my friend Tyler were talking about this on the phone the other day. We're going to bring him on soon, actually. Shout out T. Smith. But talking about this, we were talking about how basically people view it as like a checklist. Like married now is viewed as like just to mark it off the bucket list. Oh, I just got to get married, or a woman just wants to have that day, that big day. And they get so more caught up into the glitz and the glamour of it instead of actually worried about the love and the camaraderie of it. Like our wedding, we'll be honest with everybody here. Our wedding was gorgeous to me, but we didn't even pay more than $10,000. It was at one of my dad's best friends growing up. He was even my best man there, because that was a short story there. My dad had a best man at the wedding. Rob thought he should have been it, so he didn't have it at my father's wedding, so I made him my best man. And we had it at his house, in his pole building. And we had a beautiful little creek out there set up with a little arch and everything to have the ceremony. And we just had a little pole building that we celebrated. That was our wedding. And I had a chocolate fondue. We had fondue. We had a chocolate fountain. We had margaritas. Wasn't that expensive, but we just had fun. Like, it wasn't about being in $1 million mansion. It wasn't about having all these extra things, It was about the love. It was about being around the people I love, being in a place we love. And the money was irrelevant. The glitz and the glamour I could give two craps about. As long as I got my fondue, I'm happy. As long as I got my wife, I'm happy. As long as I get to cut the cake and eat some icing, we're good. We are good. If there's Pepsi there, there's drinks flowing, we're all good. So for me, it's just, I think we've made everything have to be so much more than it needs to be. And when you simplify everything, and make things simple in your head and make your life simple and not as complicated as we all do, I think you start to realize how peaceful life can be in moments. Not all the time, but in moments. And we have to strive for those moments. We got to strive for those moments that are beautiful, for those moments where we do feel happy and at peace. And I know it's hard for a lot of people, and there's times where I don't even feel like I'm ever at peace. But sometimes everything's in our head. And we've created a very bad world in a lot of aspects for how people view things and their perspective on what's good and what's immoral. And we need to be better at that. And let's view things with love. Let's view things with forgiveness. Let's view things with pride. Let's view things with morals. Let's view things with principles. Let's try to be better people. Let's try to help others be better people every day. And let's try to do our part. And like I said, I didn't want to get too deep into this, but I really wanted to hone in on that marriage and what's love. And I believe that the cheating and the porn and adultery, all this stuff that we've normalized and made in front of your face all the time now has really, really took a toll on a lot of us mentally and physically. And we need to be more aware and consciously observant of those facts, and try to be better, try to depict a better life, try to create a better world for like these kids, our young kids, to want to come up in. Let's not get them into this mindset where they see that early. Let's try to be a little smarter here. And other than that, like I always say, ELE, everybody love everybody. And we're actually going to try to get some merch here going for people, because I know people have been wanting some merch for the shirts and stuff. So we're going to try to get that going too as well. But so this is the first solo one. If people are really interested in this, I'll just keep doing these a little more. But if people don't like me just doing the solo ones, I'll try to not do these too many. But I do enjoy doing these every once in a while if people are still interested. But if people like seeing guests more, I'll definitely bring more guests on than the solo ones. So just keep us updated with what you like. But I'll definitely throw these in every once in a while for people, as long as people don't hate them too much. But so I appreciate everybody that does listen. Once again, I want to shout out Josh. He had me on his podcast. Want to go tune into that. It's called Recall the Moment. He's a great guy. He actually edits our videos for us now. And I actually probably have him do our shirts possibly. I got to talk to him about that. But he's a great guy. Josh, love him. Recall the Moment. Make sure you check that out. His podcast, he does great stuff too. So I wanted to make sure I said that. And as always, just like and subscribe if you can. Please help us out there. That means a lot. And hopefully we can reach some more people and help some more people, man. That's all we try to do. And I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are. The weather's beautiful where I am. Everything's pretty good today. I'm off work today from UPS, so I can't complain. I hope everybody else is having a good day. And if you're not, try the best you can and make it a good one. And spread love, spread forgiveness, ELE, everybody love everybody. And just treat people the way you want to be treated and be the light in the world for people. And try to see someone in darkness. Let's try to bring them some light today. And just do your part, and hopefully the rest will take care of itself. And as always, everybody, I hope you're having a good lunch, good breakfast, good brunch, good dinner, whatever you're at. Good night, good morning. And I hope everybody has a swell week. And Once again, we're going to be dropping every week on Wednesdays, and it'd be at midnight coming out every Wednesday. So basically Tuesday night's coming out right at that night. So everybody, looking forward to the journey here that it takes us on, and super excited for all the stuff we got planned for you guys. And once again, appreciate everybody, and just do your part and spread love. And as always, this is Who's Even Listening, signing off.